Norrøna was founded in 1929. Now that's one of the oldest companies in the outdoor industry. It's a Norwegian brand and it's also still a family business, which I think is brilliant, being in a family business myself. So I really like Norway and I really like family businesses. So why wouldn't I like Norrøna? Norrøna were the first brand to ever use mountain names for their jackets, and lo and behold, most of the industry now does that. And also, they've really stuck to their roots. They want to stick to making the finest, most brilliant outdoor gear they can, and I think that stands proud in this jacket. Norrøna is fairly new to Outside, and we've done a few of their different layers, and each piece has just been absolutely brilliant, from really nice base layers in the summer, a lovely mid layer, and of course this big down jacket. I really love the mid layer we've got in for this winter, which is the Falk-tinned Alpha 90. Hope I said that right. Really breathable, active piece of insulation. But we're here today to talk about this bad boy, the Trollveggen 800 down jacket. As hopefully you mountaineers know, Trollveggen, or the Troll Wall as we call it, is one of, if not the biggest wall in Europe. It's in Norway, this huge, overhanging, terrifying thing that few people climb, and it's quite spectacular, and why not name your climbing range after that? So I'll try and rattle through the features of this quite quickly, because even though it's quite a chilly day, it is really warm and I am overheating quite quickly in this bad boy. So like I mentioned, Trollveggen is their climbing range. Now obviously a lot of people will use this for other things other than climbing, but really cold mountaineering and higher peaks, this jacket would be absolutely ideal. It features just under 300 grams worth of 800 fill down, so as we've already discussed many times before, the number of the down does not represent how warm the jacket is. What it represents is the ability it has to loft, or the power it has to fill a void. So 800 fill is pretty high. It's not the highest, but it's really pretty high. And that means you don't have to use too much of the down, which means you can keep the weight of the overall jacket down. Also, that means it can compress really well when it's shoved in the bottom of your bag. The down they've used in this is also hydrophobic, so basically it's been treated with a PFC-free DWR, so durable water repellency. So that means it can shed a bit more water off than a normal down jacket would. As most of you probably know, when down gets wet, the feathers clump and go horrible and sort of squash. If they're squashed and not lofting, then they can't offer any warmth. So giving it a treatment like that allows it to keep the moisture at bay a bit longer and also loft up and give you the warmth that you need. I still would recommend in the wettest of conditions, sort of Scottish winters and things like that, you probably want to stick to a synthetic, which Norrøna do very well as well. But this really comes into its own when it's cold, crisp, and basically Baltic. So the whole jacket weighs in at 830 grams. Now, while that's not the lightest on the market, it's pretty impressive for a jacket of this size. Also, something to bear in mind is I'm 6'4". This is a large. A lot of larges these days for me are a little bit of a squeeze. Not this one. Very spacious. Also a little bit of extra length at the back that a lot of people like. Well, the whole jacket overall actually is quite long. So obviously that's going to add up in the grams, but that's also a really nice feature. You feel very warm, very toasty, your whole core is secure. So I kind of think this jacket would be absolutely ideal for lots of things. Obviously high mountaineering is what it's designed for. But imagine if you're going to go see the Northern Lights or something like that on one of those trips where it's really cold, you stood around a lot. What a little beauty to be wearing for that. You could obviously buy this to wear for bouldering in the Peak District if you like. It might be a little overkill, but you'd certainly feel pretty swish. So the face fabric is 100% recycled nylon, and they also call it down-proof. Now that sounds a bit of a weird thing to say, but down on a micro scale is really quite sharp. The little end of the feathers you'll see in other jackets poking through. And that's why they have to have quite robust face fabric, so all these feathers don't just escape. The other benefit of a face fabric like that is it also makes it very weather resistant. I'm not saying waterproof, because it certainly isn't a membrane waterproof jacket. What that does mean is showers will run off it, snow would run off it. If it's really chucking it down, don't wear a down jacket. Feathers get collapsed and soggy and they're not warm. But this will stand up to more than a lot of jackets would. The down, of course, is RDS certified, and the face fabric is Blue Sign approved. The box wall construction means that you get no cold patches, so you get maximum warmth. For what feels like quite a simple jacket, it's also very well featured. So you've got 2 chest pockets, which is really handy for storing things. You've got 2 lovely hand warmer pockets. You've got the nice 2-way zip. Inside, you've got another little zip storage pocket, which keeps things like phones warm, so they work in the colder temperatures. But also what I think is really essential, you've got quite a big bungee mesh pocket on the inside. If you are using this for high mountaineering sort of stuff, it's great to stick a water bottle on there to stop it freezing. You've of course got the pull cords on the hem so you can snuggle yourself right in and trap all that heat in. And it's got a brilliant storm hood, so it will go straight over a helmet, no problem if you are climbing with it. But also it's got a one-handed pull cord so you can cinch it right down if you're not wearing a helmet. I really like the simple cuffs. It's just sort of bungee elastic here, but it's got enough stretch in it that you could easily stick gloves through there, again, if you're climbing, but when you're not, it just feels really nice and plush and nice against the skin. My brother was actually lucky enough to take a sample of this in his size away to Iceland, where it was really cold and sort of perfect conditions to use it. And he was so happy with how it performed, and I think he wore it quite a lot. So Norrøna is a wonderful addition to Outside, and when you're next around, come and try a jacket on. I think you'll be blown away with the quality.